Hare Krishna. So I'd like to welcome all the guests once again for this discussion on reading Srila Prabhupada's books regularly every day. As part of our project under the Ministry of Education called Books Are the Basis, we get to meet every week with an eminent personality in ISKCON who have dedicated their lives being inspired by reading Srila Prabhupada's books. Today, we have the unique opportunity to hear from a very senior devotee all the way from Russia. And on that note, I'd like to welcome His Grace Acyutatma Prabhu, who is the Governing Body Commissioner, GBC, for Russia. Acyutatma Prabhu, thank you so much for joining us for this call. Please accept my humble obeisances. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha, kripa sindhubhya evacha, patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
So we like to together invoke the blessings of Srila Prabhupada and Sri Panchatattva. So we'll call out Srila Prabhupada's mantra. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Dear Acyutatma Prabhu, please share with us, when was the first time you came in contact with Srila Prabhupada's transcendental books?
Thank you very much, Tapan Mishra Prabhu. I also offer my respectful obeisances to all Vaishnavas, devotees who just like desire to read and fulfill desire for everyone and full of compassion to every conditioned soul. And of course, I'm sorry for my maybe English. It is not my mother language, as you already introduced me. Yeah, it's around 30 years ago. I remember this time some book was translated in Russian, first Bhagavad Gita. And some devotee, my friend, give me like present and I read these books. It was very interesting for me. Of course, I cannot understand everything in this book in this time, but it was very nice and interesting. And I keep these books with myself, Bhagavad Gita, all the time. And all my life after that, with books, because of course in this time all devotees should go to street to distribute Prabhupada books and read Prabhupada's books every day. Yes.
Prabhu, at the time, 30 years ago, was the environment still very strict in your country? So was it easy for you to get the book and read the book?
Already 30 years ago, not so strict already. Already it was not so strict time. So it's easy. You can buy the book in a shop, even in a shop or in the street or in a temple. So it's easy time.
So was it
around 40 years ago? It was heavy time.
Yes.
Not so much.
Prabhu, so was the first book Bhagavad Gita as it is, or was it some other small book that you?
No, Bhagavad Gita. It was Bhagavad Gita as it is. First my books, and I immediately start to read these books and discuss. I remember this time I discussed the topic of this book with my friend in the kitchen at evening time. It was very nice.
Prabhu, but what inspired you to read, philosophy and Bhagavad Gita? Because most young people, they are interested in other things. Did you initially also have interest in yoga or spirituality? So
in this time, especially in Soviet Union, many people interested in yoga and some Buddhist and some philosophy. Eastern philosophy, and I also reading a lot of books this time. I'm not reading only books. I like to listen Hare Krishna mantra. I have some tape was nice mantra and liking. Of course, after few years, I understand it was Krishna Kshetra Prabhu. It was this time Krishna Kshetra Prabhu sang his mantra chanting, and I listened his mantra all time. When I was young, I, of course, had long hair, hippie style. Now time has changed. And
So, Prabhu,
I'm playing music instrument, I'm playing guitar, and we're chanting all the time Hare Krishna mantra because it was easy. This mantra is easy. And after when I get Srila Prabhupada books, I start deeply understand what meaning, who is a Krishna, what is my position.
Prabhu, it is now many years, 30 years ago.
Yes.
But do you maybe remember something when you first read Bhagavad Gita, something that really affected you positively, something that said, oh, this is wow, something that you can share with us?
Yeah, of course, first lesson I understand I'm not his body. And I read in Bhagavad Gita, I try to think, okay, I'm not his body. I'm spirit soul. It is give a lot of strength, a lot of enthusiasm and inspiration to me. This is first lesson. Of course, I cannot understand. I read Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead. I cannot understand what it means. Yeah. Deeper understanding comment later when I meet devotee. And devotee start to explain me what means Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead or you his servant. But I'm not his body. It was so impressed me. I'm reading, I'm understand. Yes, it's true. It's true.
So your first contact, even before discussing more, was with the books per se, Hare Krishna Mahamantra and Srila Prabhupada's books.
Yeah.
Prabhu, you also mentioned that sometimes in the evening you would discuss with your friends in the kitchen about Bhagavad Gita. Can you share what was the mood and culture 30 years ago in your country with devotees about reading and Sangha?
This time I'm traveling a lot of this time, and I was in Baltic country. This time I was in Baltic country, in Riga, actually in Riga. Yeah, and one my friend, musician who play in jazz band, he present me Bhagavad Gita and said, okay, it is very important book you should read. And I start to read and we discuss in the evening. Of course, so many speculation in this time because we don't meet devotee, but just reading the books.
Oh, so the friend was not full-time practicing devotee.
No, not completely. No.
But they had Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, he read every day. Yes, he reading himself, and after he present to me. His book is so powerful. You see, even before meeting devotee, these books make influence to change something in my life.
Very powerful, Prabhu. Very powerful, really.
We read a lot of different books, and this Bhagavad Gita came in Sanskrit, so nice, so esoteric.
Yes. So, Prabhu, so this was in Riga.
Yes.
Then, after reading books, what happened? Why and how did you meet devotees?
After reading books, my friend invited me, okay, let's go to Sunday feast, to Hare Krishna temple. Yeah, and we start to every Sunday take prasadam and start to sit with devotees. And after that, in 1992, Gauranga Bhajan Band, with famous tour of Gauranga Bhajan Band, many sadhu came to Soviet Union, to Moscow, to St. Petersburg, to Riga also. And I was in a concert, was completely understand, it is right way, what I find. And regularly, and after that, I come back to Russia and join to Brahmachari Ashram. That's all. Simple way.
Yes.
Join to Brahmachari Ashram. They invite me to Sunday feast, Sunday program. And some devotee ask, after Sunday feast all time, okay, who want to clean the dishes in the kitchen and purify your heart? I say, why not? Why not? It's me. And I start to go to kitchen, and after that, I joined to Brahmachari Ashram.
So, Prabhu, which city did you join the Brahmachari Ashram in?
St. Petersburg. It was before it's called Leningrad in Soviet time. Leningrad in Russia is original name St. Petersburg.
Yes, very beautiful city. Very beautiful city of St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
And they call it also the cultural capital of Russia.
Yeah.
So Prabhu,
Many people interested in esoteric, especially in St. Petersburg. Many people, some famous musician and read Bhagavad Gita. It was famous, especially in this time.
So probably many intellectual people also, like in India, there is Calcutta, old time, many people reading. So maybe same like that.
Yeah, Bhagavad Gita was quite famous in this time in St. Petersburg.
Jai.
So because, because even Srila Prabhupada, even King's time, it was long time when Bhagavad Gita came to Russia. In one of the king, Nikolai II, he was traveling in India and he was visiting Vrindavan, Russian king, when he was young.
Wow.
Yeah, because I find the notes when he say, okay, Vrindavan is very nice, especially Madan Mohan. He making his notes, Russian king.
How many years back was this, Prabhu, the Russian king?
Yes, before revolution, of course. Before communistic time. Yes. Because Russian in India, historically very good friends to Russian in India, and Russian kings liked Indian people.
Yes.
And Bhagavad Gita was translated long. But of course, only Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita really changed the life of people.
Yes. Prabhu, so when you joined St. Petersburg Temple,
yes,
how was the culture in the temple, inside the temple? Because normally we hear in many places in 70s, 80s, 90s, devotees were very busy, going out, distributing books, doing so much service. Can you share something about the culture of reading in the temple, in the Brahmachari ashram?
Of course, it was time for book distribution. We distribute like every day and night. We distribute book. It's time. But still, we read every day 2 hours minimum. We should read. Every Sankirtan devotee should read Srila Prabhupada's books 2 hours minimum daily. And we did this every day. Yeah. And it was not all, even not all Srimad Bhagavatam was published and translated in Russian this time. And we're waiting. I remember some new canto came, we eagerly reading all day, all night, because something new book, new Srila Prabhupada book. It was nice time. It was so much taste for Srila Prabhupada's book reading. So much taste this time.
Prabhu, 2 hours every day
daily,
is extraordinary. It's like unimaginable. And you said that it was
this time it was normal for Russia devotee. You should read. You should read 2 hours. All Diksha Guru instruct. You should read books every day 2 hours. And we did this in Russia. Little bit fanatical.
Prabhu, I'm very, very, very impressed to hear this. We have interviewed many devotees in different countries, but rarely do we get to hear that the management, the gurus, were making sure that brahmacharis and devotees were reading 2 hours. So this is very inspiring for us, 2 hours every day.
Yeah, because it's only in Russia, it was main service, only one service, book distribution. That's all in this time. That's all. Maybe one pujari. And after he finished his puja service, he should go also to Sankirtan. It was this time in Russia. And we distribute books and we should read books. If you want to distribute Srila Prabhupada books, you need some energy, of course. How you get this energy from his books? And you, especially Sankirtan, it was so nice time, not so much management, so much time. And if you're tired, you just sit somewhere and just open the books and you can start to read. That's all. Simple life. If you're full of energy, you go distribute again. Very simple life.
Prabhu, how many devotees were involved at that point in time in reading and distributing books?
In St. Petersburg, in Brahmachari ashram, it was around 50 or 60 devotees. Later, it was around 100.
Must be a very powerful association, very strong.
Yeah, very
Sangha.
strong association, very nice Sangha, very strong association. And if you join in this atmosphere, you have no doubt the Srila Prabhupada books is the essence. Now it's so many, it's so many books, so many topics, but this time only Srila Prabhupada books it was available. Not many books. It was essence. It was very easy.
Yes, Prabhu.
And
So,
not
Prabhu,
not everybody can join to Brahmacharya ashram. If you don't distribute minimum 10 or 15 books daily, you cannot join to Brahmacharya ashram. It was like this. You should fire up every day. Otherwise, somebody said, okay, you should go out from Brahmacharya ashram. For food for life, for example, for food for life or somewhere.
so the special qualification of residing in the Brahmachari ashram was that you should be distributing 10 to 15 books
Minimum.
and reading minimum.
Yes,
and
minimum.
read 2 hours minimum.
Yes. Otherwise, you have to go out.
Prabhu, you are now in the movement for more than 3 decades.
Yeah.
So this was the 90s. Just for us to understand, as time moved from 90 to 2000, 2010, now 2020, like this, what happened? What is the cultural change with respect to Prabhupada's books that you may have observed, Prabhu?
Yeah, in Russia it was great change. A communistic time gone. People mentality also changed. In communistic mentality, people more like fire up, and somebody say, okay, you should go distribute book. Everybody go to distribute books. Such kind of education it was in communistic time. Later on, time changed, and so many service came, and educational programs, and Grihaska devotees. It was many. Only in beginning, it was only Brahmachari devotees, not many Grihaskas. Afterwards, so many duties, and devotee became busy. And of course, I feel devotees start to less reading Srila Prabhupada books because it was busy. You should support your family and everything. But anyway, who have this experience from 30 years ago, he's still reading books every day. For me, it's very important. I meet my friends from Brahmacharya Ashram in St. Petersburg, around 20, 25 devotees, and everybody reading books till now, because it was good school.
Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, I want to ask you 2 questions
Yes.
on what you just said. So first question is that you mentioned that when we enter householder life, grihastha ashram, then becomes difficult. This is common question from devotees. They say we don't have time for reading books. So now you've also taken householder ashram. You have so many services, etc., and you're still able to read Prabhupada's books.
Yeah.
So how do you inspire? How do you inspire, and what do you tell householders?
Today is auspicious day of disappearance of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we know. Yes, and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also was a Grihaska devotee, long time. And today just meditate of his history of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and he mentioned he read also books every day and writing more than hundreds books. And Prabhupada mentioned it is not a problem for Grihaska be engaged in a mission. If you're thinking just I am Grihaska, I just support my family, not engage in Prabhupada mission, it's not enough. It's not enough. I inspire, I give understanding, because how I can inspire you to take food? You're just hungry, you want to eat. That's all. It's nature.
Yes.
This is also food for spiritual life. Food for spiritual life. Of course, deep understanding, deep studying of, especially of Srimad Bhagavatam, inspire me. Like I just before our meeting with quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam, where Science of Naimisharanya, we ask Sutta Goswami. Yeah, there are many varieties of scriptures, and all of them there are many prescribed duties, so many prescribed duties, which can be learned only after many years of study in their varieties of division. Therefore, O sage, please select the essence of all these scriptures, essence. Sara, Shruti Sara, what is essence? And Sutta Goswami explained after that that you should read Srimad Bhagavatam, Purana Arko, with This is important because Srimad Bhagavatam is Amalam, we know, is Amalam Purana. Amalam means purified our heart. It is just not just question of inspiring. If you want to increase your faith from Shraddha to Nishtha and for Prema, you should read Prabhupada books. It is not possible otherwise. How it is possible? It is nature. It is not just like propaganda. Okay, we should read Prabhupada books. No, we should feel. If you don't read your Prabhupada's books daily and you feel everything is good, it is not normal. It is not normal.
Prabhu, you made two very nice points. One is that Srila Prabhupada's books is like food for the soul.
Yes.
And the only way we can progress in devotional service from Shraddha to Prema is if we read every day.
Yes.
Even if we are householders, we should still follow the same.
Not even, especially if you are householders. Not even, especially. So maybe sannyasi engaged is more secure, but householder is not so much security from material energy, from mind. Especially if you're householder, you should read daily. Before go to work and after when you come after your job, not go immediately take prasadam. Just maybe take shower and read a little bit before sleeping also, especially for house. It's important. Otherwise, how you can survive? It's a question of survival. Maya is so strong. Everybody knows Maya is so strong. You need some vaccine. Now it's a famous topic about vaccine. Our vaccine is Srila Prabhupada's books.
Yes, Prabhu.
Our Sputnik.
Yes, this is true. Our vaccine, and we must, like you said, when we have to clean our body every day, like we eat every day, same way we must read every day also Prabhupada's books. Prabhu, now about service. I want to ask two questions. One is about service and one about other books. So a lot of devotees now, they say, in our movement, there is so much service, so many, especially managers, they have so many services. Can you tell us the relationship between reading books, Prabhupada's books every day, and performing service? Because some managers say, we don't have time for reading books. We have too much service to perform. So what is your experience in this regard, Prabhu?
You cannot be a nice manager and nice devotee if you don't read Prabhupada books and don't make endeavor for chanting mantra. It's not possible. It's not possible. My experience for 30 years. It is not just slogan. It's just real my experience. If you want to make nice service, especially manager service, you should be spiritually full of inspiration. Otherwise, it will be manipulation only. Manipulation of material energy. It is not service at all. It is not service at all. Because we should understand who is Krishna, who is Srila Prabhupada, and what is my position. Jivira Swarupa Hoy Krishnera Nitya Dasa. I need some energy, some Shakti to do my service in proper mood. Otherwise, after some time, it will be some mountains work. That's all. That's all.
Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu?
In morning time, for example, in my case, after evening time, after 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, I switch off my phone, I switch off my computer. It is important to get, it's not just only read, you should absorb your mind. This gives energy, not just reading. After 20 minutes reading, what you read, I didn't remember. No, you should absorb your mind. It's not question of information, what kind of information you get from Srila Prabhupada's book. No, it's question of deeply absorb your mind and spiritual energy. This is question. And if you absorb your mind, you purify your consciousness, it's easy to make any service. Or your book distributor or your GBC, doesn't matter for me. It is important. And morning, especially in morning time, before I start my service, all morning program, japa, and I should read Srila Prabhupada's books to absorb the mind.
Prabhu, you touched upon a very important point also now about how to read Prabhupada's books. You should absorb one's mind. Prabhu, can you share something with us about the proper mood what should be our mood when we approach Srila Prabhupada's books every day?
Of course, his proper mood is that service. Because somebody, you mentioned, somebody think, oh, so much service, so much service. Reading Srila Prabhupada books is a service. You understand my point? People think, oh, I'm running which direction, that direction, this is my service. No, no, no. The devotees absorbing mind is real service. And so Prabhupada mentioned, chanting, for example, chanting 16 rounds is the main service. And of course, holy name is purified your heart, but you should understand what is the meaning chanting the holy name, how to properly chant the holy name. You should read your Prabhupada books and understand what is your position. In many letters, actually, Prabhupada mentioned, if you don't read Bhagavad Gita, real Shraddha cannot manifest from your heart. This is Shastriya Shraddha cannot manifest from your heart. You cannot grow up like spirit soul. It is important, read, especially in the beginning, you should read Bhagavad Gita daily, understand what means Sambandha Jnana. If you can understand what means Sambandha, how you can increase your faith is not possible. So many sentiment, oh, this, that, Radhe, like this. But it's so many sentiment, you should understand philosophy deeply. What is your position? What means material nature? What is the goodness of material nature? How does it work? How you can become free from material desire? You should understand how it works. And after you can chant Hare Krishna mantra in proper mood and proper vision. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also mentioned in his Harinama Chintamani this many times. First of all, you should understand Sambandha Dhyan. Sambandha Dhyan. What is your position? Who is Krishna? Krishna is a master, you are a servant. That's all. Very simple. Yeah, but you should realize this. And after that, you can chant Hare Krishna mantra. And after, of course, daytime I'm very busy because in ISKCON so many things is going on in GBC service, so many problems, so many nice things. But it is just my role, my service. But who I am actually? I am Krishna's servant. I am Prabhupada's servant. And I should read Prabhupada's books every day to deeply realize this.
Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, you said simple formula, but sometimes now ISKCON devotees, they say that we have so many books. And sometimes even, sometimes we hear that devotees are told, you don't read Prabhupada's books, you read some other books first. And then when you become qualified, then you can read Prabhupada's books. So there are ideas like that floating in the movement. Can you please share with us what is the right understanding
Prabhupada's books is sufficient. Yeah, it's just a speculation in the mind. So Prabhupada's books is sufficient for reading only Prabhupada books. And I want to quote one thing from Srimad Bhagavatam 1:2:16. It's famous sloka, Shushtushok, Shadadana Syava, Sudeva Katkaru Chiksan Mahat Seva Prapunya Tirkani Shevana. The Prabhupada mentioned the eagerness to hear about God is the first qualification of a devotee eligible for entering the kingdom of God. It is very interesting, very important point. The eagerness to hear about God. How we can develop this eagerness to associate with sadhu, punya tirtha nishevanat. And of course, for us, Srila Prabhupada is the main person, main sadhu. How we can say we should read in our books? Of course, maybe if you understand, read 5, 7, 10 times Srila Prabhupada's books, you can understand something in Acharya's books, but not before that. Not before that. And my experience, so I'm reading so many books also. I like it, read some different books, especially with Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. But if I read in Srila Prabhupada purpose, I understand everything already here. Meaning of Jiva Goswami, what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explained is Baladevi Dibhushan, is everything already here in Prabhupada purpose. And after 10 or 15 years, I realized it's more deep. It's enough. Because it's not question of some new information. Because some devotee think, okay, we need some new information. No, spiritual life is not question of new information. You remember this story of one Brahmana in South India, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu traveling in South India, and he visit this temple and sees Brahmana cannot read properly Sanskrit and literature. completely, but he's crying. And Mahaprabhu say, okay, you understand deeply what means bhakti, and embraced him. Because some new generation devotee thinking, okay, we can get new information. No, it is not question of new information. You should realize something from Prabhupada's purport. This will be enough. Yeah, it's Janataka Viplavo means you changing the heart. Janataka Viplavo is revolution on the heart. What is it should go on? Material desire should give up all material desire and develop the desire to satisfy the Guru and Krishna. That's all. It's bhakti about this, not about new information. It's very important to understand. Otherwise, you cannot be happy anyway. You cannot be happy. You cannot be get shanti. Like Mahaprabhu mentioned, in Chaitanya Charitamrita also it mentioned this verse, Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Ata Eva Shanti. Only Krishna Bhakta Nishkama, who is free from all material desire, Ata Eva Shanti, can become happy. It's important. Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakalaya Shanta. If you just are looking for new information, for more information, it cannot make you happy. Because his main point when we join to this moment, we won't be happy. Prabhupada mentioned, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. This is important. Not just chant Hare Krishna and be unhappy. No, we should read Prabhupada books and be happy. This is the secrets of success. If you absorb your mind and be in contact with sadhu, Punya Tirthani Shevanat, the heart of Srila Prabhupada is completely pure from karma and jnana, completely pure. And if you get a cessation, sadhu sangha, of Srila Prabhupada, your heart will become also pure. Sadhu sangha, sarva shastra ko lava matra. If you even read one verse of Srila Prabhupada's books, your life will can change. This is my experience. It's not just like propaganda. Because I before also think, oh, what mentioned in this Purana, that Purana, what mentioned in this Upanishad. And after some time I understand, Srila Prabhupada books is sufficient for spiritual nourishment. That's all.
Yes. Thank you so much, Prabhu. It's so, I feel so happy to hear from you because you explain it very simply that Srila Prabhupada's books is sufficient. And if we have doubts, we should read this and that. First, we should read Prabhupada's book. You said 5-7 times. Prabhu, actually, if we know some statistics, etc., it is found that many devotees are not able to read complete Srimad Bhagavatam in their even after 20-30 years, and some devotees don't even attempt to read Chaitanya Charitamrita. So when you say 5-7 times, it is very inspiring for us that this is how life should be lived. Prabhu, you mentioned about Srila Prabhupada.
Just one more thing I will add. You said devotee cannot finish Srimad Bhagavatam, but how we can develop prema? In Bhagavatam said, Krishna sva dhamma pagate, this famous verse. Dharma jnana diphik sakha, kalau nashta drisham esha, puranarko dhunoditaha. This Bhagavata Purana is as brilliant as the sun, Arkham, we know is sun. And it has arisen just after departure of Lord Krishna to his one abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. Person who have lost their vision, we all lost their vision. Person who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance of age of Kali shall get light from this Purana, This is the essence. And Prabhupada mentioned in his purport, you should read Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita again and again. This is the main instruction. Prabhupada came to this world to give this brilliant to us, the Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita and Chaitanya Charitamrita. If you say, I'm follower of Srila Prabhupada, what does it mean? You just say, Jai Prabhupada, and eat paneer and halal and gulab jamun. No, it's not enough. Follow Prabhupada means you should follow his instruction. And Prabhupada regularly say, you should read my books daily. That's all. It's simple life.
Yes, Prabhu. And you said Srila Prabhupada's books are the most important. A lot of times now we hear two things. that Srila Prabhupada is the preeminent Siksha Guru of ISKCON.
Yes.
Srila Prabhupada is the founder Acharya of ISKCON. Please share with us the meaning of these two statements with relation to Srila Prabhupada's books and reading, which you are encouraging us today.
Founder Acharya means Prabhupada always should be in the center. Always. His give teaching of Lord Chaitanya as it is for us. He's the real follower of Srila Rupa Goswami, but for us, for International Society for Krishna Consciousness, Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya, is easy to understand. And his Shiksha Guru means his instruction is, for us, is most important instruction. We have so many opinions maybe now in ISKCON about this topic, that topic, but we should study Prabhupada books and Prabhupada instruction, his Shiksha. Yes, Shiksha. This is very important, of course, Prabhupada's Shiksha and his instruction. If we change something in Prabhupada books, or ISKCON can go some another direction. For example, if you study, understand previous acharyas and you will change something in Prabhupada books, for example, you should say in the previous acharya we understand like this or like that. Like in Gopiparanadhana Prabhu, we know him very well. For me, it is one of the most learned person in ISKCON, Gopiparanadhana Prabhu. And when I speak with him and Gopiparanadhana Prabhu start explain something like Jiva Goswami give some explanation, but after somebody can say, but Srila Prabhupada say like this, he immediately say, okay, this is correct, this is correct. What Srila Prabhupada give to us, this is to us. For me, it's a great example. It means Srila Prabhupada is Shiksha Guru for everybody, and his instruction are the most valuable for us.
Yes.
Of course, we are not following Ritvik. Of course, we are not following the Ritvik style, Ritvik Lada style. Oh, Srila Prabhupada, no, you have to get your diksha from your guru, from live guru. This is very important also, because some devotee start to speculate, oh, Srila Prabhupada, who is not Srila Prabhupada direct disciple, second generation devotee, we start, oh, my guru is Srila Prabhupada, but who is your diksha guru? It's also important. It's important everything in diksha guru and shiksha guru. But Srila Prabhupada give main instruction for all devotees in ISKCON.
And one of the instructions he gave is that you should have a guru.
Of course.
Srila Prabhupada
Of course.
Clearly says you should have a guru who's
present. Of course, it's our tradition. Of course, it's our tradition of Gaudiya Vaishnava. You should get mantra. You should get mantra from Diksha Guru. This is our tradition. You should get Brahminical thread, whatever. It's Pancha Samskara, all initiation Samskara. You should get from live Guru, not from picture.
So, Prabhu, you touched upon the word Brahminical thread and Brahmanas. And one of, amongst the various activities of the Brahmanas is, one of the primary ones is to learn and teach.
Yes.
So, what are your thoughts about the Brahmanas within ISKCON? You know, because many times it became like this, that if we need somebody to go on the altar or to cook on for the deities, and we say, okay, you go take Brahman Diksha. Please share with us your understanding with respect to reading, studying scriptures for Brahmanas and its importance.
Yeah, second initiation is not easy topic because we have original Vedic traditional style of understanding what means second initiation. Even Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Brahmanas get second initiation. But later on, Prabhupada mentioned second initiation means Brahminical initiation. Brahminical initiation means quality. Shamo, Damo, Tapaksha, Cham, Sharti, Marzav, Mevacha. This whole quality we should develop slowly. Of course, it's not go immediately. Not go. We need at least maybe, I don't know how many, but for me, at least 30 years to understand something, what is going on in spiritual life. But still, this is the way Brahminical quality, this is important, not just only thread. Just I receive thread from my spiritual master, I become a Brahmana. This is okay. But first of all, and you mentioned the 6 occupational duty of Brahmana. Yajana, tapana, yajana, dana, pratigraha. He should learn scripture, he should be learned person and should distribute also this knowledge. This is Brahminical culture. You should learn yourself and you should distribute. You should understand you are not this body, your Krishna servant by yourself, and you should give this knowledge to all the world. This is real Brahminical yagya. Yagya. In this age, we know only one yagya is powerful, be honestly. Especially in Western country. I don't know in South India, but especially in Western country, only one yagya is most powerful, Sankirtan yagya, with congregational chanting holy name and congregational reading to Srimad Bhagavatam and Srila Prabhupada. This is also Kirtan because Shravanam Kirtanam. Prabhupada mentioned this, you can chant Hare Krishna mantra on the street, this is Kirtanam, but if you distribute his books, this is also Sankirtanam. This is not different. What to speak, we know all story, you live in Mayapur, you know all story, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj is called his Brihat Mridanga, this process of distributing books, spiritual books, Brihat Mridanga. It's not different from holy name.
And we also notice from Srila Prabhupada's life also that he himself used to sit down and read his own books, and he called that also Sankirtan.
Yes, and you know why he's read his books? Because his books spoken by Krishna from his heart. This is important. Every word in the proper place. Every word in the proper place. I realized this also after some time. Because somebody said, oh, it is so boring. Same things again and again. I'm not his body. I'm not his body. Give some new information. No, dear devotees, every word in the proper place because it's coming from Prabhupada's heart. Krishna directly give instruction to us from Prabhupada's mouth. This is very important to understand. It is in our tradition, like Baladeva Vibhushana writes his Govinda Bhashya. We know this whole story. Yes. Govinda Dev inspired him and give all knowledge to him, and he just write. Same going with Prabhupada. Prabhupada was in deep meditation in Samadhi, like Vyasadeva. Yeah, you're like Vyasadeva. We know Srimad Bhagavatam is Vyasa Samadhi or Vyasa Samhita. Vyasadeva was in Samadhi. And in this Samadhi, he saw Purna Purusha, the Supreme Personality of God. He saw the conditioned souls. And he saw how to help the conditioned souls. And from his heart is all Puranas came from Vyasadeva heart. Same Prabhupada's books came from his heart, from Krishna.
Yes.
And after that, of course, Prabhupada also very interesting what Krishna say. Reading his books.
Also, Prabhu, we actually noticed
not
also
coming mind, it's not coming from mind platform. It's not coming from mind. We should understand and realize this. It's not coming from mind platform. It's coming just directly from spiritual platform. Golokere Prema Dhana Harinama Sankirtan. This is Prabhupada books. This is just spiritual fire. Yeah,
and also Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami also reveals the same thing in the beginning of Chaitanya Charitamrita, and then in the end he reveals the secret in the end, that who was it who personally inspired him to speak. Yeah. So yes, Prabhu, all of these scriptures are directly coming from Krishna, and also Srila Prabhupada.
Yes.
He touched upon so many beautiful points today. You talked about Brahmana and you showed how the duty of Brahmana is to read. You talked about ashram. In ashram, you were a brahmachari. You showed how a brahmachari's life is sustained by reading. You specifically highlighted for grahastha, even more important, to take shelter morning, evening, like taking a bath, do this. Then you also talked about managers. You said if you're a manager, if you're not reading, you cannot perform service. And in the very essence, you said that the most important service is to absorb oneself in Krishna through the writings of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, now from a managerial perspective, you are a GBC, you have many temples, you've seen so many temples also. What should temples do? What should managers do for others for their brahmacharis, for their communities, to encourage a mood and mission of reading Prabhupada's books? What can they do?
Yeah. Now it's in Russia, at least, time has changed. Not so many brahmachari, more community, congregational devotee around. We should inspire devotee. We should came to their house, invite them to the temple or to your house and read together books. How is going on? If you have a taste, for example, For example, in Russia, around 15 years ago, the National Council, I remember National Council, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj said, okay, let us read together Srimad Bhagavatam and study Srimad Bhagavatam. I remember Kaunteya Prabhu came to Russia this time. It was very surprised. The National Council, all day just reading Srimad Bhagavatam. We will not do so much managerial things. We just for managerial things live 1 or 2 days. Every day we study together Srimad Bhagavatam. And I remember it was nice experience, and all preaching in Russia and managing things go nicely after that. I remember I'm very thankful to Bhaktivedanta Swami because he has so much taste to Prabhupada books and so much taste for Siddhanta and for Katha. And he shared this taste with us, and his taste came also in my heart. And I can share this taste from another devotees. I immediately after that came to different temple, different city, and invite devotee and say, stop, let us read together. Not just like one sloka before manager things. Usually, before some meeting, we're reading one sloka.
Yes.
That's all.
Yes.
I thought, no, let us change something. We can read 1-2 hours together, and after 1 hour we can deal for management. And this is my experience, and everything changed. Devotee should feel the taste for Srila Prabhupada books. If you have no taste yourself, how you can distribute Krishna consciousness? It's not possible. It's not possible.
Prabhu,
I remember one story. It was mentioned. One temple president came to Srila Prabhupada to Vrindavan and said, Swamiji, so many problems in America. Prabhupada asked him, did you read Bhagavad Gita? What you mean, Prabhupada? So many problems. We have to discuss these problems. No, you should go and read Bhagavad Gita first. And after a few days, his temple president came completely satisfied, pure, and happy. And Prabhupada asked him, okay, now we can discuss your problems. Oh, Prabhupada, what problems? No problems. I should go to make my service again. That's all. This means nourishment.
Yes.
We should be in a spiritual. All management should be in a spiritual platform. It's very, very important. We are not manager. We are spiritual leaders. It's quite different. We're not just manager, just learn we're teaching, team building. That's all. No, spiritual leader means you should be full of spiritual energy. It means you should be in contact with Krishna all time. This means spiritual leadership.
Otherwise, it will become like a company or corporation, with a lot of problems.
Otherwise, just you will be manipulative devotees. This manipulation it will be. That's all. It's not service. My experience, my understanding. Everybody should grow up leaders and came to Madhyama stage, Madhyama Thikari stage. It means spiritual consciousness. And you should understand.
Prabhu, so you have established such a nice system, you say, when you go. Is this still going on when you now have meetings? Do you still take enough time to read together with the temple president?
Time. Now it's a little different. Now it's pandemic time. We have more association by Zoom.
Yes.
But still we're reading books. Yes. This is
very inspiring for devotees around the world, especially managers. Because like you said, normally you just take one paragraph of Prabhupada, read a little bit, and then start the 10, 12 hours of meetings going on like that. And it also reminds me of what Srila Prabhupada wanted, even at the Mayapur festival, Vrindavan festival. Prabhupada wanted when everybody comes, they should be doing Sankirtan together, even in the meetings, mostly Sankirtan, and maybe then, like you're saying, 1 or 2 days of discussion and finish.
Yeah, it should be balanced. It should be balance also. Of course, I appreciate it's very important managing thing because we should push movement and we should to do so many things for nice organization. It's very important. But if you want to do in a proper way, you should absorb in Srila Prabhupada's books. Otherwise, it will be so difficult.
Prabhu, in your experience, not personally, but what have you seen about devotees who you may have known for 20, 30, 40 years, if they did not pay attention to Srila Prabhupada's books? What happens? I mean, what happens to their lives, spiritual lives? Because sometimes devotees also say like this. They said, oh, we don't want to, read too much. It is too difficult to read. We just want to chant. Let us just chant and that's enough for us. But what's your observation, Prabhu?
My observation, I see this devotee losing the taste and in chanting also finish after some time.
Mm.
Maybe in the beginning we say, okay, I will chant Hare Krishna mantra is enough for me. But after some time we lose the taste for chanting. We lose the taste for association. We lose taste for practicing. And what kind of taste develop? For material enjoyment. That's all. For material enjoyment. Aham Ishvara Aham Bhogi. That's all. What is the finish? Yeah. It is finished like this. It is finished like this.
So Prabhu, we get absorbed in other things. Prabhu, can you share something about family life? You talked about householders should do, but what about the ladies, the Matajis, the children? What should householders do? Because now we have more congregation devotees. What should we do regarding that? They can also be inspired.
We know historically our ladies is most powerful Vaishnavis. Our movement. You can take, especially early age in Prabhupada, you can see how many service ladies did. How many? With Malati, Yamuna. Prabhupada mentioned Yamuna is in Bhava stage. Can you imagine? Prabhupada say Yamuna on the Bhava stage. Because some sannyasi came. Why we should listen to this lady every morning? Govinda Madhi Purusha with prayers and deity greeting. Prabhupada mentioned she's very exalted position. Yeah. And family life is very nice. If you read Prabhupada, it's so nice opportunity to read your Prabhupada books together with your husband and your wife. It's very important. It's very nice opportunity. You should do it. Otherwise, what you should do in family life? Eating and sleeping. That's all. No, you should read together. You should share it and some experience. About children, what about children? This different situation is, of course, depends how old the children. My experience, you should not be make punishment for children for reading. For example, okay, today you're bad boys, you should go read Bhagavad Gita. It's not like this. You should share the taste. Oh, you did so nice things today. You're so nice boy. Okay, today is special gift for you. What kind of gift? We should read together Bhagavad Gita. You should share the taste. This is important, not just punishment. You should read Bhagavad Gita. No. For children is different situation. Yeah.
And Prabhu, like you said, if I have taste, then I can share the taste. If I am reading that, otherwise it becomes very
only bhakti distribute only like this. This is the method how we can distribute bhakti only like this. You cannot just by only taste. You distribute taste. Of course.
Prabhu, I feel very inspired. I'm sure everybody who's listening to this is going to feel very, very inspired. Thank you so much for this. Every word is so powerful. Prabhu, now very soon, in the month of September, we are going to celebrate Srila Prabhupada's Shravanam week for reading books. Not that we are not going to read any other time of the year, but this week, just like Kirtan week, we are creating, GBC has approved, we had last year, this year also we will have, where we are going to request temple leaders, sannyasis, gurus, to speak and encourage everybody, focus to read every day like this. So, Prabhu, what suggestion do you have for us, for the ministry, that we can do to make sure that we have this a very powerful message during this week that we will celebrate. It will be from September 20 to September 27 this year.
Yeah, it's very nice. We know it's 125 years for Prabhupada Appearance Day. And also in Russia, we also celebrate very great years. It's 50 years how Prabhupada visit Moscow. Yes, yeah, 71. He was in Moscow 1971. Just few days, and he inspired just one man to read his books. One man, Anantashai. And this, you can see how it's going on. 100,000 devotee. And also I want to share you one nice story. How first Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita came to Russia. When Srila Prabhupada came with Shyama Sundar Prabhu, it is a very nice story. Malati Devi put Bhagavad Gita to his bag, to luggage. But you know, it's a communistic time, it's not allowed. And Shyama Sundar also told them, don't put any books, otherwise they stop us in the border. Cannot enter to Russia, to Soviet Union. But Malati still get his, she put with Prabhupada books. And on the border, what is going on? One officer man came, what is this? What in your bag? Please open the bag. And he opened back his Bhagavad Gita. Wow. And what to do? And he opened the book. Many photos fall down from books, family photos, I think, from Malati and Shyama Sundar, some photos. And his officer said, oh, sorry, and start to take this photo, keep again to Bhagavad Gita. Sorry, take your books, you should go. This is how first Bhagavad Gita came to Russia, to Moscow, even in communistic time. It's not allowed to distribute some knowledge about the God. Officially, it's not allowed. But Prabhupada came, it was first meeting with Professor Katolsky, and this first Bhagavad Gita came. And you can see, it is really magical how one book just entered to a communistic country. And Prabhupada meet just one man, young man, Anatoly, he was his name. He was first disciple, Russian disciple of Srila Prabhupada. And after you can see, imagine thousands devotees now in Russia. Yeah. It is very nice nice occasion to read Prabhupada's books. You did very great service. I think you know better than me what you should to do, because you absorbed in this, how to inspire devotee to read Prabhupada books. My opinion is only one. We should not only discuss how to read Prabhupada books, we should read Prabhupada books.
Yes.
Yeah, because you see, now so many japa retreat, for example, and japa meditation, we inspire devotee how to chant properly holy name, but it's not enough. We should start to chant. And of course, we can speak a lot of things. How is it important to read Prabhupada books? It's very great, it's very nice. But most important thing, we should really start to read.
And maybe at least we should all read 2 hours every day during that week together.
Maybe we can inspire. Maybe we can inspire leaders to get involved. For this period, I should read maybe at least 1 hour.
Yes.
At least 1 hour, but every day. Better 2 hours and more. Yeah. Somehow we can get involved.
Yes,
I will read every day. You can read alone. You can read in the company of wife and children. You can read online with some other devotees. So many things. Especially if you share it with your friends what you're reading. It is very important. Shravana, Manana, Niti, Dhyasana. You should thinking about it, what you're reading. Not just like you read and forgot everything after 5 minutes. No, you should absorb. This means observation, observe your mind. You should read and try to understand what you're reading. You can try to tell to somebody, to your friend. It means change the heart is will go.
And that will be the real revolution for us. That we can change our hearts.
We need revolution, culture revolution, spiritual revolution. Not just physical revolution, spiritual revolution. We should conquer envy, greed. We saw enemy in the heart.
Prabhu, today you have given us a lot. And
by your inspiration, you inspire me. Speak Sanskrit.
Prabhu, You have shown us from your life that how by reading every day one can remain happy year after year for 30 years. Does not matter what ashram, what service. If we just stick to this principle, chant the holy name, then we can absorb ourselves in Krishna's thoughts, which is the main purpose of all of our lives.
Maybe I also will add one thing, also important for me at least, to listen Prabhupada voice every day.
Okay.
I also listen every day. I listen in Prabhupada one of the lectures every day. I listen. It's very important for me. It also give me a lot of inspiration. Like I directly can hear Prabhupada say Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's all. For me is enough.
Yes.
It's important.
Yes. We will do, Prabhu. We will try our best to follow your instructions. It was very inspiring. And I hope, Prabhu, that you can give us again some more time after a few months and continue to inspire us like this. What is happening in Russia under your guidance and as you described by the inspiration of His Holiness Bhakti Vigyan Goswami Maharaj can definitely inspire communities, which are many countries or many places, ISKCON is coming up new.
Yeah.
But I think this formula that you have given us about reading every day for a few hours will help us the most.
Do you know why is knowledge is eternal? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna mentioned is eternal knowledge. It means it's working 30 years ago, it worked now, it will work in the future. This process, reading Prabhupada's books is eternal process. It's working anytime.
Sure. Yes, Prabhu. And if we adopt the process, we are successful. If we sit on the sidelines and just say Jai Srila Prabhupada, then I think we are doing only lip service to the founder Acharya, to the Srila Prabhupada.
It's not enough.
Prabhu, not enough, because we will be cheating ourselves, as you so nicely described. We'll be cheating ourselves. Prabhu, with your inspiration, and we will also be now. We have many devotees who have done given us these interviews like you have given us. Mm-hmm. We are trying to translate them in many languages. Hopefully, within 1 week, we'll be circulating these interviews also in Spanish and Russian by translating them. So please pray for us and give us your blessings that we can share these very, very deep realizations from all of the devotees like yourselves, which can help us all follow the path of bhakti properly with right discipline.
Thank you for your service. Yes, it still need translation, especially for Spanish and for Russian. We need translation. And thank you very much, Tapanish Prabhu, for your nice, great service and about everything what you're doing. I just wish you best.
Prabhu, thank you so much. Please accept my humble obeisances. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namah. And all glories to your inspiration, your service, and all glories to Srila Prabhupada's transcendental books,
yes,
which are keeping us alive every day.
Please be healthy, read your Prabhupada books, and be happy. Hare Krishna.
We will do that, Prabhu. Thank you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare